ॐ गणानां त्वा घनपतिगं हवामहे कविं कवीनां मुपमश्रवस्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पतान् शृण्वन्नोदिभिस्सेदसादनं प्रणो देवी सरस्वती वाजेभिर्वाजिनेवते तीनामवित्रयवतो गणेशाय नमः सरस्वत्यै नमः श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम ओम साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वः प्रचोदयात्। ओम जयति मंगलकाली भद्रकाली कपालिनी दुर्गा क्षमा शिवदात्री स्वाहा स्वदा नमोस्तुते। ओम शांति शांति शांति। Saram Lin.
Sairam Sharma and Sairam to our audience of listeners. We thank you, Bhagwan, for this opportunity to talk about something that everyone is interested in, be it a devotee or not. The topic is fate and destiny. Fate and destiny are certainly two words that will make most people's ears prick up. Why? Because we all want to know what is our destiny, what is our fate. Swami is very clear about this, and I will give several examples of it because there is a difference between destiny and fate. Now, destiny, it is said, a person often meets his destiny on the road he takes to avoid it. Swami says that when people get entangled in the world, they lose the golden chance of grasping what is true and lasting. It's like having a tree of unripe fruit. They pick the fruit before it is ripe and then complain that the fruit is sour. Such is the fate of man and woman. He ignores God and goes after the joys given to him by pride and greed and objects that do not last. So Swami here is talking about fate. What is the difference between fate and destiny? Destiny means that in your life there are opportunities to turn left or right on the road of your life. So therefore it is not the same thing as fate. Fate is like a blindness. You choose the unripe fruit because and then you don't get what you want, and so you say, oh, life is no good, my fate is, I am fated to unhappiness. Whereas destiny, you get some choices. And I can give you a very good example of this. Now, in Japan, Japanese monks pursue a very austere life to attain monkhood and enlightenment. And it is said in their Buddhist practice that once a monk reaches the crucial point of achieving enlightenment or not, he will be tempted by one of two things, gold or a woman. So just as he is about to achieve his life's work of becoming a monk, free from the world and its temptations, he will either be offered a lot of money, or he may find a lot of money, or he may win a lot of money, be left a lot of money, or he will meet a woman who will lure him away from monkhood. He will fall in love and he will abandon his monk's life's desire and enlightenment being his goal. So this is one example from the Buddhist tradition but I can give an even stronger one, and that is of a lady who was, she had a son who was her only son. The lady was a widow, and she depended on this boy to graduate from university and be able to support her in her old age because she was a widow. She loved this boy so much. Swami is involved in this story. And the boy said, "Oh, I want to make a pilgrimage to a certain shrine." The god was, I believe, a form of Lord Vishnu. And his mother said, "No, please don't go there. Please finish your studies first." And so the boy obeyed his mother's wish, and he completed his studies. Then he said to her, "Now I have completed my studies. I must make this pilgrimage. I have wanted to do this all my life. I feel it is my destiny. I feel it is my fate. I must do this before I can commence further with my life." His mother still pleaded with him not to go, but he went anyway. And when he arrived at the shrine, there was a tank in front of the statue of the god. The boy slipped on the stone marble around the tank. He fell in, he could not swim, and he drowned. His mother was so distraught over this, she couldn't believe that the boy was gone and her life as a single widow would be compromised. There would be no income to support her. So she went to Swami and cried out. Swami called her in for interview, and he said, "I will show you what happened to your boy." He held up his hand, and some of you may know, Swami had the divine ability to hold up his hand, and a screen, like a movie screen or a television screen, appeared on his palm, and she was able to watch what happened when the boy approached the shrine. He went into the shrine, he fell into the tank, he hit his head. She is watching this like in a movie. And then she sees the boy's soul emerge as a flaming lotus, and the flaming lotus merges at the feet of the statue of the god. Swami said, "Your son was a very highly evolved soul. In his previous life, he had a deep desire to merge at the feet of his chosen deity, Lord Vishnu. He was not able to achieve that desire in that life, but in this lifetime, he was born with this very small amount of karma. He will not be born again." And the lady cried and cried. She could not believe what she had seen on Swami's palm. And then Swami himself took it upon himself to make sure that she was well taken care of. All of her needs were met. I have seen Swami do this many times for needy elderly people on their own, both widows and widowers. He took them into the ashram, gave them a place to live, gave them a job to do if they wished, took care of their every need, medical, food, everything they lacked for nothing. Such blessed souls they were, and Swami once said that all those who reside in Prashanti Nilayam are actually residents of Vaikuntha. This is the loka of Lord Vishnu, and what their great good karma has brought them to live there in Prashanti Nilayam. So you see, our ideas of fate and destiny can be quite different from what is truly going on. Indeed, when we were first going to Prashanti, this was in the late 80s, we noticed that many devotees were going to have their palm leaves read with the Sukh Anadi. This is a method of telling a person's past, present, and future by reading ancient palm leaves. We had a young woman in our group who desperately wanted to go and have her palm leaves read. We said to her, "Please don't do that. That is not the purpose of our pilgrimage to see Swami. and I called on Professor Anil Kumar to come and speak to our group about the Sukhanadi and going to have palm leaves read. This is, I wouldn't call it fortune telling, but it is something more like revealing a person's past, present, and future. And this was very popular. I have to say, many quite well-known devotees went in those days. But by the time we went there, we did not really want people in the group who sought this out. Mata Betty also was opposed to it. She was saying, why would someone want to do that and pay money when they can be in the presence of God himself? But people have desires. And the thing was, Professor Kumar came, and I said to him, Professor, what does Swami have to say about the Sukhanadi? And Professor said, Swami has told that when the Sukhanadi was originally given in meditation to the great rishis of yore, it was in its pristine form, and indeed it was accurate. But through the ages, it became desecrated. People began charging money for it or gifts, and now there is no one on earth who can interpret the Sukhanadi correctly in terms of revealing a person's future. That some of them can reveal the past and be accurate, but no one on this earth can accurately predict the future. And indeed, future, as Swami once said, is uncertain. It is uncertain. We cannot really know what the future is going to bring because there are so many forces at play. Swami once was asked by a couple of students who he was sending to New Zealand, Swami, we do not want to go to New Zealand. What if the planets there are bad? What if they affect our destiny, our fate? Swami stood up and banged his chest, and he said, no planet can bang Swami. But they were still not quite ready to go, and so Swami created a ring of the 9 planets and a Shirdi Baba ring for the lady. And I think this must have been the golden seal of approval. They came to New Zealand and are now doing great seva for Bhagwan. I hope you have enjoyed this short talk. There is much more to be said about the difference between fate and destiny. There is a word in ancient Turkish and Persian, kismet. Kismet is destiny. And it is said that kismet totally is not the same thing as your future. Swami sometimes had this way of making a gesture with his finger. It looked like he was writing in the air. And some devotees said, oh, Swami is rewriting our destinies. No. Swami said, no, I am not doing that. I am writing letters to my devotees in other dimensions, and I am taking care of them. So it's always best to listen to Swami's words on these very puzzling topics of fate and destiny. He will always give us the truth. He is truth. He is Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. Om Shri Sai Ram.
Om Shri Sai Ram. Tasmat karunya bhavena raksha raksha Saishvara. Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Saishvara Arpanamastu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.